HR has multiple target audiences. Obviously, we target our current, former, and future employees, but we also have stakeholders to target some of our messaging and communication to. However, working with a wider audience, such as current, former, and future employees, will turn your HR marketing efforts null, as in nothing. The problem is when you try to target everyone with your message must be overly general. And when your message is overly general, it isn't relevant to anyone, which turns your talent marketing and communication efforts into a failed operation. That is why you need to be specific about your target audiences in talent marketing. And the only way for you to successfully convince and convert your intended target audiences is to be very specific about whom you want to reach. In today's episode of the Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast, we talk about how to work with target talent audiences in talent marketing, or HR marketing if you prefer using that term. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and I coach and consult branding, marketing, and communications for HR industry professionals and grow companies. Targeting your marketing, especially for employer branding, continues to be somewhat troublesome for many HR and employer branding professionals. We ask, who should we include in our target audiences? Why being specific is key to the success? And these are the two key questions I will answer in today's episode. So welcome to the Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast. Let's get started with today's episode. So who are our target audiences in HR? HR has multiple target audiences. Obviously, we target our current, former, and future employees, but we also have stakeholders to target some of our messaging and communication to. So examples of key stakeholders target audience, or key stakeholder target audiences in HR are, of course, our top management, our hiring managers, team leaders, recruitment agency partners if we use those, local employment office, we collaborate with those, universities and colleges educating our target audiences. However, working with a wider audience, such as simply a current, former, a future employee, that will turn your HR marketing effort into null, as in nothing. Because the problem is that when you try to target everyone with your message must be overly general. And we all know that when your message is overly general, it isn't relevant to anyone. It isn't relevant to anyone, which turns your talent marketing and communications into a failed operation. General messaging isn't relevant to anyone, and that will turn your talent marketing and communication efforts into a failed operation. That is why you need to be specific about your target audiences in talent marketing, much more specific than stating we are targeting our current employees, former employees, and future employees. The only way for you to successfully convince and convert your intended target audience is to be very specific about whom you want to reach. So I want to talk to you about what does becoming more specific about talent target audiences means. I want to ask you a question. Do you know what makes social and digital marketing so wonderful for us? What would you say? How would you answer to that question? I answered that question that the ability to use our marketing resources wisely. When we work with social and digital marketing, we can be very specific about who we want to see our message. But we cannot make the most of social and digital marketing unless we put some effort into specifying who makes our ideal target audience. So instead of referring to your target audiences as current, former, and future employees, which is actually a very, very wide way of referring to them, do this. Segment your current employees in the following manner, the way it applies in your organization. So here are examples of segments. Full-time employees, part-time employees, temporary employees. Segment your current employees in this way: full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Junior employees and senior employees based on their years of work experience or based on their years of work experience specifically in your company. That's another way to refer to junior and senior. Newcomers, those employees who have been employed by your company for less than 6 months. And then long-term employees, because they see your organization through very different lenses. You can also or should also segment your current employees into hiring managers and just people with manager roles, but no responsibility to actually recruiting and retaining employees. And recognized opinion leaders, very important segment. So segment your current employees in the following manner, the way it applies best in your organization. Let me repeat: full-time, part-time, temporary. Juniors and seniors, newcomers and long-term employees, hiring managers, recognized opinion leaders. You may not have all these segments, but these are examples of very, very good segments, how to segment your current employees. And as you noticed, there's nothing about education or their role, their profession. This is how we segment in employer branding. It's also vital to understand that within your current employees, there are lots of individuals with very different motivations, different kinds of needs, different desires, different expectations and wants from your communication and from your organization as a place to work. When you know what segments you have, targeting your messages will be much easier and make so much more sense and so much more impact on your audience. But not even just that. Knowing your target audience in more detail lets you also collaborate with them when you want to target their counterparts, their peers outside your organization. Think about that. Another segment, your former employees. Let me ask you another question. Do you ever think about your former employees when you need to hire or when building your company's employer brand? I would recommend you to think about them because the bigger the organization is, the more extensive value can be received from your former employees. Because not only are they an excellent target audience for talent acquisition, because they already know your organization and probably many of your people, it makes their onboarding faster. They have also built professional networks and relationships and collected experience outside your organization. So when they return, those all may be extremely valuable for you, and apply these for your business's benefit now. So segmenting all your former employees may be too big of a job. So this is something you may want to do together with team managers in the following manner. Just segment them into those you definitely want back because you want to start rekindling your relationship with these people, and those who continue to be connected with your organization and are regularly in touch with their former colleagues and managers who are still working in your company. You should also make this part of the exit process with the hiring manager. Discuss how the team manager sees the future with this person. Do they want this person back? Should we need this person? Should we want to pursue a connection with them or not? And then your future employees. This segment needs your attention because first of all, you know very well that you won't hire everyone. So start by categorizing the key skills, key qualifications, key personality traits, key values of those talents who match with your company mission, your purpose, your values, and the most significant cultural expectations. So when I say cultural expectations, I mean how you work. So how we work here, those norms in your internal workplace society about how you collaborate together, how you are expected to work, how you're expected to communicate, how you're expected to behave, how you're expected to, be in touch with other people and so on. So you also need to segment your future employees into those of your business needs that your business has now, and also segment the future employees into those whom your business will likely need over the next 2, 3 to even 5 years. Because businesses go through so much change these days that whom you hire today may not be whom you need to hire in the coming years. Segmenting those target audiences separately reminds you of the importance of starting to plan and implement how to grow their awareness about your company as an employer for your upcoming recruitment needs in 2 to 3 years to come. Let me say that again. Let me repeat this to you. Segmenting the target audiences separately, a future target talent separately, reminds you of the importance of starting to plan and implement how to grow their awareness about your company as an employer for your upcoming recruitment needs. Those who are needed now are your recruitment audience, your talent acquisition audience, and those who are needed in the coming 2 to 3 to even 5 years must be included in your employer branding audience. When working with future employees, there are always characteristics that make a person a desirable candidate for you, regardless of the position that you're considering. So what are those characteristics? Write them down, because those are essential ingredients when working with employer branding. For employee branding purposes, you may want to create another segment for talent acquisition specifically. And these are those applicants that you decline. Yes, those that you say no thank you to. How do you ensure they still get a great experience with your company despite being rejected? That needs to be part of your talent acquisition strategy, as their candidate experiences directly impact your reputation and how they talk about you to their peers, who may well be talents you do want to impress and hire later. Or they might know the talent that you desperately want to sign up. Stakeholders. You have your key stakeholder target audiences too. Categorize these into segments that you need to regularly maintain contact with and those that you don't. Because when you see whom you need to communicate regularly and about what, you can plan those activities into your overall HR marketing and communications plan. And when you become more specific about your target talent audiences, you will come to notice how much information they give us about their likes and their dislikes and their needs and their desires on social media. And that is exactly what will make your talent marketing job so much easier. So I'm going to link an episode from a long time ago on this podcast. That's episode number 15 to the show notes article of this episode. And the episode was about what is the talent audience and why does it matter. So that's modernemployerbrand.com/podcast141, where you find the link to the episode. Or you can also jot down modernemployerbrand.com/podcast15, because that's where it is. So you can directly go there. Or if you prefer to listen after this episode, just scroll down, way down to number 15, and you'll find that episode. That's from a long time ago, but it's very valid information still. What is the talent audience and why does it matter to you? Next, I want to talk to you about what is the key benefit of becoming more specific about your target audience, because it requires a systematic approach to getting to know your audience and keeping yourself updated about who your target audience is, what they're like, what they don't like, what's on their mind, what are their desires, their needs, their pain points, and so on. So, it's going to take up some of your time and your energy. So you want to know why you should do it. Why should you become more specific about them? What is the benefit? What's in it for you? So the key benefit of becoming more specific about your target audiences is the impact you gain. Is the impact the impact that you will gain when you know more about them. So your marketing messages will be much more effective when they speak directly to your audience's needs and pains and desires. When you use their language and refer to topics that they are familiar with, they find relevant and exciting, your messages will make so much more sense to them. Making sense is so essential if you want that recipient to do something with your message. It has to make sense. And you do. You want your recruitment audiences to apply for your vacancies. You want your employer brand audiences to start following your employer brand communication and marketing to become better aware of why they need to consider your company and eventually why they really want a job in your company. If you're not specific about who needs to listen to you, your marketing has zero impact. It fails. If you are not specific about who needs to listen to your telemarketing messages, your marketing has zero impact. It fails. Let me turn this around. What do you lose if you are not specific about your target audiences? What do you miss out on? What do you lose? Okay, you have no proper idea of where to find your target audiences. What channels and media to use will become a question that you can't answer. You may be trying to reach your target people in all of the wrong places. You don't know what's on their minds and which topics are relevant. And if you're not addressing the right topics, you won't get their attention because they're not interested in you. They're only interested in what you have to say and whether that's interesting to them. And if it's not, they have no interest. You don't get their attention. And without attention, they're not in your audience. They're in some other company's audience or some other employer brand professional's audience or some other coach's audience or some recruitment professional's audience. So you do understand how essential it is to be more specific about your target audiences. So when you know what types of people should belong in your target audience, you have the tools to do more research in locating them and finding out how to address them to get their attention and start that important conversation. So much of your recruitment marketing and employer branding budget may go to total waste if you are not specific about who needs to hear your message. Who do you need to convince? Who eventually should convert to whatever marketing goal is supporting your attempt to reach your HR goal? Let me ask you something. Do you find segmenting your target audiences difficult? What makes it difficult? Help me to understand. I'd love to help you out on this. It's so important. So what you can do is connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok. Send me a DM. Share your thoughts with me. And perhaps I can do another episode going more deep into this matter. Alrighty, that's all for this week, my friends. And as always, you can find the written version with supporting links on modernemployerbrand.com/podcast141. My name is Susanna Rantanen, and I teach and coach and consult employer branding, marketing, and communications for HR industry professionals just like you who want to build a successful career, get a life you deserve, just simply because you are so much better in marketing and communication. Now listen, I'm looking for new coaching clients, and if you're looking for a coach to help you to build your personal brand as a talent acquisition or employer branding professional, or as a coach in the HR industry, if you're looking to find a coach to help you how to do employer branding on social media, or if you are an in-house recruiter looking to revamp your recruitment process with employer branding, hey, contact me to set up a free discovery call to have a chat. What we can do to help you out, and if, we might be the perfect coach for you. So connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, DM me, or simply email me at susanna@emine.fi. That's SUSANNA at Emine, EMINE, like the rapper Eminem, but without the M in the end. .fi for Finland. Thanks for listening. Until next week. Moi moi.